He quickly silenced it, but a few seconds later it rang again, and he turned it off yet again. "It's not her?" asked Nadia. "It's not her," the groom replied. "I have her phone, did you forget?" Nadia closed her heavily made-up eyes. "I didn't forget. I didn't know you had it. How could I forget something I didn't know?" She paused. "What are we going to do?" Then she repeated her question more quietly, as if trying not to wake someone. "What are we going to do?" Matai looked at her intently, somewhat wistful, yet completely alert, and seemed to be considering her question, although he wasn't really. She could feel his gaze jabbing her in the spot right between her painted eyebrows with an injection of despair, tense expectation, and something else she couldn't quite name. Startled, she turned sharply to Ilan, her nephew, who was leaning over on her right and whispering in her ear. "What? What did you say?" Nadia was confused. "I corrected you. I said, 'God, what are we going to do?' That's what I said. You should have said, 'God, what are we going to do?'" Ilan displayed his ugliest sneer, intentionally exaggerated, then went back to covetously playing with Nadia's 6 gold bracelets. He rolled them up and down her arm, counted them over and over again, pulled them almost up to her elbow, then dropped them back down, one by one, to her wrist. "What does God have to do with it?" Nadia pulled her arm away impatiently. "Why would you bring God into this?" "It's true. God forgets no one. Allah ma bin sakhad, like they say," the grandmother announced with contemplative satisfaction, rocking slightly from side to side on the stool to stretch her buttocks. Nadia put her hands over her eyes. "I can't take her. I can't. Explain to her what's happening," she murmured at Ilan without looking at him, and leaned her back against the wall. Ilan wiped his dry hands on his pants, moved closer to the grandmother's stool, knelt down before her with his eyes straight across from hers, cupped her milky cheeks in his hands, and held her head right in front of his own, so that she could watch his lips move. "Gramsy," he said quietly, in a soft but persuasive voice. "Lena." The grandmother's face lit up, and her wide nostrils trembled slightly with joy, as though her name pronounced by Ilan were a surprising discovery. "Can you hear me, sweetie?" he asked with a grave look. She nodded vigorously. "It's Margie. Margie. She's not getting married in the end," he explained. "Why not?" the grandmother asked, as a look of confusion and dread spread over her face. "Why isn't she getting married?" Ilan replied slowly, accentuating every syllable. "She doesn't want to. She said she doesn't want to get married." "Ever?" the grandmother inquired. "She doesn't ever want to get married." Ilan reached out, stroked her hair, and tucked a long strand behind her ear. "I don't know if not ever, sweetie. We don't know. For now, she doesn't want to get married." Nadia cried out. For the first time in the past half hour, the news sank in and hit her all at once, suddenly embodied in Ilan's words, which ruptured her with their tenderness far more than a whip or a violent shaking could have. Her neck was bent forward, and the skin was flushed. Her hands covered her ears, and she gaped, extricating from inside her body a peculiar, truncated, almost inhuman wail, which she herself had never heard before. As she yelled, and now she also began striking her thigh rhythmically with her right hand, she marveled at this voice, so horrifyingly foreign, which was apparently coming from inside her, just as if her body and mind